Good evening again, guys. So I'm just making another video. I haven't made videos for YouTube for a couple of weeks. I needed to do that just so people know I'm not bailing. I like this hat. It's not a grown man's hat, but it's like a girl's hat. But I bought a hat for my cousin's daughter. Then my dad and mom said it would be stupid to give it to her. So I decided I'm going to wear it. And I don't mind wearing it. My head fits it, so. I don't mind wearing girl clothes sometimes. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with me doing that, especially for, like, a hat, but, you know. I just need to find a girlfriend one day, and one day I will have a girlfriend, and I'll have some land, and we can grow tomatoes, tobacco, potatoes, and eggplants, and maybe some grapes, and hop plants, and things like that. We can make our own beer, wine, tobacco. And I still got my kratom trees, so that could be a pain relieving factor if we ever had to live on our own. And really, what I want to do is get a land and make a self sustaining area. That'd be so cool. Self sustaining. Like, that would be like the coolest thing ever. Like, maybe I'd get like a rain jug. I don't know if it's legal to collect rain in Oregon. I think it is kind of legal, but it can be illegal in certain ways. So it's like I want to collect rainwater, purify it, make my own water, and that'd be actually a really cool habit to have. I think everybody should try to do that. Try to be self-sustaining, because as good as America is, it's not perfect for one, and also there can be a lot of things that happen that you might have to rely on yourself in order to survive, and it's like I need to get a piece of land, dude. I really do. I need to get a piece of land. Even if I had a mini home, like a little home, and didn't have a girlfriend. It doesn't really matter if I have a girlfriend or not, but like, I do want a wife one day. I've always wanted a wife since I was like 8 years old, or younger. And it's like I'd like to have some land to grow my own shit. And I'd like to maybe have some animals, like some pigs, and like mini pigs, not big pigs, because I think mini pigs are easier to handle. And I can make my own ham. I like ham. Ham's one of my favorite meats to eat. And I've never killed an animal before, and I don't think I ever will, but like, even if I just had the pigs to be my companions, it's better than nothing, and I don't really need to eat meat. I can buy a peanut tree and learn how to make vitamins through chemistry. It'd be kind of cool. It's a big dream, but like, it's a cool idea. All I really need is B12, because you can't get B12 from many plants. There's some plants that have B12, but they're rare. And it's like, it'd just be cool to grow things and have your own weight. Like, it would just be cool, and I would really enjoy doing things like that. I just kind of, living in an apartment's good and all. It's just kind of really lonely. I'm gonna have my driver's license soon, so I'll be able to go wherever I want, and nobody can say anything. I can go drive to the mountain. I can drive anywhere I want. And it would be on my terms. Nobody could say, "Oh, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that." It's annoying when people say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." Because it's like, dude, it's just driving, and it's just going places, I'm a grown man. I want to adventure a little bit. I don't want to just sit at home all the time. Like, I could play video games, That's kind of like adventuring, but like there's nothing better than going for a nice hike or like soaking in the nature, and like there's nothing better than that. And I have this weird idea where I'm trying to like use Jediism with my Christianity, so like meditation, discipline, things like that. So it's like I'm kind of like a Jedi, but I'm Christian. I think that is also in the Bible. You have to have discipline in the Bible too. So it's like, and it says to meditate on the words. So it's like I can pretend to be a Jedi as well as a Christian. I still believe in Jesus. Still know that he's my father. Jesus is the son of God, so he's not technically my father. They say that he's more like a brother, and the father is a different entity, but the same entity. And then the Holy Spirit is the presence of God. So it's like the presence of God is in all things, everywhere. It's in my plants, it's in my chair, it's everywhere. It surrounds everything, kind of like the Force in a way. And it's just kind of, the presence of God is really cool because, like, you can kind of sense God sometimes. You can tell when he's there around you, and it's a calming presence. Like it's like very calming, very like. And I could all be wrong. I don't know. I might be just fantasizing about something that's completely unchristian. I don't know. I'm sorry if I am. But from what I learned when I was a kid was the presence of God is in all things. So it's like, you know, God's everywhere. And God controls everything. He doesn't make the bad things happen, but he allows them to happen. So his plan pretty much furthers in a way, like for either you or for someone else. Like it's just kind of interesting. God's not going out there giving people cancer. He's not. It's a result of our sin that bad things happen. Like our sin in the garden was a result that caused thorns to grow. It caused poisons to be poisonous. And God's a very powerful God too. Like even just like witnessing life in general. Like look at this place. Like it's an amazing thing that God could create something like that. Like God is an amazing God, and he loves everybody. He does not judge particularly in the way that people would like really think he does in like those mean kind of groups of people where they're like, oh, he's a judgmental God. No, he's not judgmental. He judges justly. So it's like he's a just God. He's very just. He likes me, I think, I hope. But like it's just kind of, and this is all just my thoughts about God. I'm not speaking for God. I don't know God well enough to speak for him. So I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, somebody can correct me, It's like I don't mind the correction. But like, God is a very good God, and I love Jesus for a reason, I guess. But I know I'm not really the best Christian. I don't want to speak about God to really like entice people. I mean, like I kind of draw blanks when it comes to talking about God a lot of the times, and it's kind of disappointing because I've been trying to be a Christian for years, and I barely know God well enough to say, oh, this is how God is. I can't really. I know that he's kind, just, loving, holy, and everything that he does is justified, so it's like, God can cause miracles, things like that, and I know that's a power that he has. He can heal people from wounds, heal people from illness, and It's just kind of cool to think like God can, like, there's a story in the Bible where one of the prophets was pretty much being made holy. God took a flaming coal and brought the Spirit of the Lord, not the Spirit of the Lord, but the angel of the Lord brought a burning coal and put it to this guy's lips. And God said, "You are now clean," pretty much, I think. And, it's kind of cool to think about, like, touching God would make you clean. It would kind of heal you in a way from darkness, things like that. Because lately I've been feeling very spiritually dark, in a way. Like, I've been feeling spiritually dark. And, like, I kind of think, like, I am a shadow of a person, I guess, in a way. Like, I'm more of a shadowy person. I'm more darker. But, like, I'm a good guy. But, like, I have some of these thoughts, like the Antichrist delusion and things like that, that just make me feel like I'm stuck in a spiritual darkness. And it's, like, really weird stuff that I don't know why I deal with it. I mean, like, I've been taking antipsychotics for it, and I think the antipsychotics keep the thoughts away sometimes, but, like, it doesn't really completely get rid of them. It doesn't really get rid of the paranoia. It doesn't get rid of the problems I have at certain times. I get, like, twice a week of complete garbage feelings. Like, I get anxiety or paranoia or whatever it is, and it's either a what if intrusive thought, or it's about the Antichrist, or it's about the flood from Halo. Like, things that scare me. And it's like, I don't know, guys. Like, I really wish my life would just go back to normal. But anyways, bye.